Steve, I got to tell you, or I have to ask you, have you ever been a part of a company that has had this kind of success or this kind of impact, not only just so quickly, but even throughout the course of that company existing?
No, I think, what's so exciting to me is in a year, we've gone from a handful of sites live to now over a dozen sites live. We took a GA product out the door and immediately hit market timing that I suspected it was there, but it's incredible to see the kind of response we're getting, both from sites and from sponsors.
Yeah, I've never been part of an organization like this. I've had the honor of working at Nuance, as you know, and 3M, where they've had a lot of success. I mean, quite frankly, had a monopoly to a certain extent. But to see this as a company that's really, we've been here for less than a year, having this kind of inflection, but equally as important to see how these customers or how our partners have rallied behind the solution. It just tells you that there's a lot of entropy built up here, and that this market is ready to go. But you'll also notice, and I'm curious to hear from your perspective, but I also noticed that the market's just not willing to dive after everything or anything. They're looking for that partner that is looking for an iterative approach that has high integrity, high quality, and again, having our customers drive what it is that they want, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I think our biggest opportunity is to be very focused on what's possible today and what's possible tomorrow, and make sure that we are very credible about, okay, today we can move this much data, and it's an enormous ROI to both the sites and to the sponsors that are paying for this. But then tomorrow we're going to be able to do things using different types of AI, generative AI and NLP, that will up this game. We're doing things that no one else has ever done at scale already. And now we're taking that next step, looking for really important and valuable data that's locked in documents or lab reports or radiology reports. That's what gets me very excited. We're already doing something no one else has really been able to do at scale. Now we take the next step and go after really high value targets inside these medical records.
And at least for me, again, experience building that foundation where we do the basics better than anybody else. You talk to great coaches or great athletes, Fortune 500 CEOs and Fortune 500 founders, they have one consistent theme that goes through this is you have to do the basics better than anybody else. Until you do that, to go do the superstar like athletes like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan used to sit there and shoot free throws for 2 hours a day. That gave him the right to go after and do some of those amazing dunks and some of those amazing plays. And he wanted the ball with the last second. That's what I think about
Yeah.
with this business and what you've set up on the product and technology side. You're enabling us to now go do the dunks, the 3-point shots, the half court winners.
Well, I think it's really important for us to be very direct with the market to say, look, there's just some data that we're never going to be able to get because it's just not in the record. My favorite example is on a medication, the end date of a medication is never really going to be in the record accurately because no one calls their doctor and says, hey, I just stopped taking this drug. Now, there are dates that get submitted through patient portals when you're checking in and you say, yeah, I don't take that anymore. But when someone says in our industry that they can move 100% of the data that's needed for a clinical trial, they're lying because the data sometimes just doesn't exist. So I think we have to be very focused on integrity and doing the basics very well. And then, of course, doing some really exciting new stuff as the technology evolves.
Now, Steve, I have to tell you, when I was on this last prednisone pack for that sinus infection, I did call Dr. Meyer up and I said, hey, Kevin, just so you know, I finished this. For which you went, why are you calling me? It's a 5-day dose. Of course you finished it. At least I hope you did.
Yeah,
It's assumed.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
no, to your point, integrity is absolutely crucial here. The second you lie to the industry or you lie to a client, you cannot get it back. One consistent theme, again, another consistent theme throughout my career for me personally has been I have repeat customers or people that have followed me through through various companies and through various different adventures because I'll be the first person to step up and say it's just not possible. I know you want me to say it's possible. I love to jump in a teleportation machine and go from Indianapolis to London or from New York to Singapore. It's not possible. I'm going to show up and you're going to take a picture of me and send an email picture of me and hope that Zach, the digital version of Zach, is the equivalent of the teleportation of my actual human body. Everybody knows that's not the same. And so, what's allowing us to do this and have this growth has been an area that I get a lot of questions on. I know you have, especially as we look at what is this next iteration of the company. And I use this theme, or I use this talk track of, look, it has nothing to do with me. If I got hit by a bus today, the company would do great and maybe even do better. For me, it's been the people who we have sitting around the table. It's our employees, but it's also the partners. It's the MSKs, the MD Andersons, it's the Dukes, the Royal Marstons, but it's also people in other companies like Chevrolet over at a bridge, and Bill Donovan who consults with us. These amazing people have given their time, their energy, and their guidance and mentorship to allow us to go down the right path again with integrity and with scale in mind. From you, as you've watched our product and technology team grow, what do you think has been the secret sauce to date that has allowed us to have, this trajectory?
I think what's really been positive for me is we've got an incredible team, small development team, but an incredible team led by a very strong development leader.
Are you,
We're completely virtual.
Steve, are you saying that's the strong development leader?
Yeah, no, that would be Vivek. But we're a virtual team, and we're mainly in the GMT time zone, right? But we've got people in Portugal, we've got people in Poland, we've got people in the UK. I split my time between Boston and Ireland, and we are working long days. We start early in the European time zone, we finish late in the American time zone, and no one's complaining because everyone is excited and incentivized to take this ride. We started our year beginning meeting with this logo of a rocket ship, and the message was we got to hold on because this is going to be a ride. And we're all doing such incredibly hard work to get our products to market, to get our customers' success moving. And I think the culture that we have here is remarkable. And the fact that it's a completely virtual business on top of that, it works. It works.
So this next quarter is going to be is going to continue that trajectory of the rocket ship going up. We have several new clients, site partners and sponsors that are coming online. We have several of our partners that are moving from pilot agreements to enterprise agreements. We're scaling across multiple different continents. I'm excited to watch this scale continue to go and continue to give those proof points, and see some of these proof points. Steve, what do you think is probably the most important thing that we need to be focused on in the next 90 days?
I think in the next quarter, we've got to do two things. Continue to focus on um, product features around scale. How do we get to scale? How do we automate as much as possible? How do we give things to our customers that they can do so we don't have to do them? So we've already been working on that. We'll continue to work on that. The other piece that we're working on now that I'm really excited about is our AI solutions around looking for data that's locked in documents. And the best example I can give you is when a research coordinator gets a patient enrolled in a study and they have to figure out when that patient was first diagnosed with cancer and what stage that cancer was. It's like an archaeological dig. They have to go out to Epic or Cerner and read every document, lab reports, radiology reports, consult notes, because they just don't know where they're going to find this staging information. That's a great example of where a large language model can go find every reference to diagnosis and staging, serve it up to a human who can say, all right, that's the baseline. That's the data that I need to move over for this clinical study. That's exciting. And this is where you're taking something that could take 10 hours and turning it into a task that can take a minute and a half. So that's what I'm excited about, is just optimizing the technology to go find for a human in the loop the data they need to do their job. I think that's what's next.
It's going to be a busy 90 days, but transformational 90 days. But you hear me say that every 90 days. Oh, this next step, that's going to be that's going to be the thing. And then we always look back at that next step and go, well, that was nice.
Yeah.
Now it's the next one.
Yeah.